Welcome back to Good Day Kentucky on ABC 36 News Now.
Hey, welcome back, folks. Important topic here, especially this time of year. The experience of losing a loved one can be one of the most stressful life events a family can face. Now, these issues are considered private matters. Our society often uncomfortable. Talking about death makes it hard for families to reach out for help and support as they're coping with the loss of a loved one, especially during the holidays.
Oh, it is. Well, here to talk more about how you can handle grief and loss this holiday season is Dr. Kerri Ashurst. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you being here. And this is such a heavy topic, and it's a big topic. And a lot of people deal with this during the holidays, and it is so difficult. So tell us, first of all, how people, should deal with grief and loss during the holiday season.
Yes, I think we look at the holidays oftentimes as a time of joy, a time of lots of good memories. And when we've just experienced the loss of a loved one, it can be very difficult. That person filled roles and activities in our lives that may not be replaced.
Yeah.
And it can be a difficult time because it's those first memories being made, those first pictures being taken without that person present.
Right.
And of course, the holidays are stressful.
They are.
They can be very stressful.
Yeah,
and
sure.
stress isn't necessarily a bad thing. But it's a time of the year when we've got a lot on our schedules. We're trying to travel places maybe, or have people travel to us. There might be some financial crunch at this time of year. More meal planning, more groceries, all kinds of different things. And when we're feeling that loss, it can be very overwhelming.
I wonder too, I know that we all deal with it, and I know that we're hanging on to those memories, those good times, and we hate the thought of having new good times without that particular person. And it makes it so difficult for people. Why do you think we want to hang on to that past so much versus really trying to build for our future after something like that happens?
It's what we've known. It's comfortable. And when you think about the holidays, there are a lot of traditions. And I think that's one thing that's vitally important for families is to just have that open conversation about some of that. Sometimes just acknowledging it's going to be a difficult time.
Yes.
And I think we can breathe a little bit of that collective sigh of relief and feeling like, oh gosh, we're all knowing that it's going to be difficult.
And
we're going to get through.
We cling to those time heals all wounds and all that, but sometimes things actually feel more kind of acute than 5 years down the road after losing a loved one versus that first year. It's interesting. So I guess what we're looking for here is coping mechanisms. What can we do to help kind of keep the dam built up and get through the holidays?
I think when it comes to coping with grief and loss for ourselves, one of the biggest things is seeking connection, seeking support, and maybe it's going and finding a group that you can be a part of who've experienced a similar loss to you. Maybe expressing your feelings and talking about it is not for everyone. It might be writing it down, listening to music. It might be various different sorts of outlets for people to get some of those emotions out. But making ourselves a priority and remembering that's okay. I think we often feel guilty when we put ourselves first and not others. But we have to remember that we need to do that physically and mentally for ourselves. We need to prioritize ourselves and give ourselves some grace and patience.
It's hard to do. It really is. And so how do we help someone that we see going through this? What can we do as we're observing this with someone else?
I like to talk about 3 specific things. One is just being present and available. Sometimes I think we find ourselves saying things like, let me know if you need anything. And when someone's grieving, it's very hard to be able to state out loud what they need at the time. And so we can be very proactive with things. We can say, let me help you babysit. Let me bring a meal over for your family. Let me take you out for a distraction to get your mind off of it, to laugh for a little while.
That's a challenge too. I mean, especially with an age difference. Our boys, when they were younger and lost their grandmother, one wanted to talk about it, one didn't. So you really have to kind of customize per individual to be there for them.
And that's another part of, I think, how we can be helpful to others is just being patient and remember that people grieve differently, especially children. And even when we've all experienced the loss of the same person, we might feel very differently about that loss. And, being able to just be patient and give each other grace and know that we all do grieve differently.
Absolutely.
The UK Extension Office has just a plethora of wonderful resources, and if they don't have it, they can get you in touch with someone who does.
Yes.
So what are some good resources for folks to reach out if they just feel like they're drowning in the deep end this time of year?
I think there are a lot of resources out there that can be very helpful. It can be a little overwhelming and daunting though, and especially when you're experiencing grief, sometimes that's something else we can do to help people, is help them find some of those resources, locate what those things are, and get them to some of those supports and things that are out there for them. We can also encourage help, even professional help for others when we maybe see some changes in them, because we're all different and we all handle things in our own different ways and timelines. But we often, when we know someone well, we know what might have changed with them. We might know when they might need some extra help. And then there's a new hotline that's 988, so similar with the 3-digit code to 911 that exists. That's the Suicide and Crisis Hotline for the United States. And you can call that number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and then it will connect you to one of the centers in Kentucky to get you to somewhere that's more local to you.
Okay, very good. And there it is
on the screen right now.
And then if folks want to find out more information about UK and what you all offer there at your office, is there a website that they can go to find out?
We are the Family and Consumer Sciences Unit with the Cooperative Extension Service. That's a very big mouthful, but basically it's just www.ca.uky.edu.
Wonderful.
It's a big title, but you guys have a big mission, and we
appreciate
what you're doing. And
Thank you.
Thanks for this. I know there's a lot of viewers out there that are feeling that loss this time of year more than ever. So an important topic to bring up. Thanks for being here.
Kerri, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
Back after this. Stick around.